here we're going to look at some power poses. Alright, so this is just a little bit more than just standing there with sort of the hands down on the rib cage. We're now going to kind of go into a bit more of what I call a showgirl, showman presence. Alright, so the first one we're going to look at is a single showgirl. Now I say showgirl, but please don't anybody be offended or anything like that. It just naturally comes out. But I do mean it's applicable for everybody, okay? So the first one we're going to go for is the single. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of get your legs in position first. So thinking about what we just learned in the previous module, you might go for sort of like a knee across, you might go for a leg out, yeah? But what you're going to do is take your arms and you're going to place one on the rib cage and you're going to just bring the other arm up and over, okay? And it works both ways. So you might try it first with your front arm coming up. Single show, yeah? Or the back arm. What you're looking to do is kind of get your gaze to follow the arm that's lifted. So if you're going around the other way, hand on the rib cage, yeah? You'll follow the hand down, up, and back. Now once you start creating that arm movement, you may find that you need to adjust your stance. So you may find that actually the movement kind of creates you to wobble a little bit. So you might need to just take that stance and spread it out a little bit. So you might put yourself back in that position, wider stance, hand on the rib cage, and then you'll follow the arm through and you'll come up. Or likewise, the other way round, in your split stance, you'll follow the arm through, okay? And you'll just make sure your gaze follows the movement of the arm and then it kind of stays looking at your bicep. You always have to think about audience engagement and stage presence and things like that, but I would say at this level, probably none of you are thinking about rushing out and signing up to any shows or performances or anything right now, okay? So at the minute we're just building the core foundations and the core movements. So this is what we call the single showgirl, show person. All right, so get your stance in whatever position that looks like. One hand on the rib cage, the other hand, make it a movement, yeah? Bring it from the side of your body, sweep it on up, hold your position and think about these hands, yeah? Such an important aspect. Don't forget about those fingers and those hands because actually that can enhance or make or break the move, yeah? It really can. If you can, get those fingers long and get those fingers making the movement with you, just as equally important. Okay. So we've just done the single show person. Let's do the double, all right? So again, think about your stance first. You might want to have a split stance. You might want to have a closed stance. It's up to you. You might need to play around with them. But the next one is to take it up into a double. So quite simply, we take it sort of down through the body. We come up, and we're now both arms. Yeah? Now, if you're coming to the end of a routine or the end of a performance, then what you might actually be doing is just holding up and just staying in one position. You might be looking away, you might be looking over your shoulder. You might actually come up and take it straight towards your audience. You might glare straight towards them, okay? It might be that you're creating a cluster of moves. So as part of your move, you might be sort of turning around from having faced away and then coming up and then bring it back down again, yeah? But this is what we would call a double show person. And it's also what we would call a power pose. So you've got your single, power posing, you've got your double, power posing, yeah? Single and double.